a special request to do a full assembly for this bead here, which I think one of my first videos was a star assembly. And the star assembly was, just this little star unit here. And then I sort of showed you how you could have stars share a tip. And if you did this all the way around, and then on the other side all the way around again and added another one, to create a full dodecahedron, you could create this little beaded bead. And yeah, I have a viewer out there that got all the supplies, and I think she needed a little bit of a roadmap. So I'm going to do the whole assembly of one of these then, so that you can see how that's done. And so the first thing you want to do is get 1 to 20 beads on your needle, and you form those into a circle. Now, actually, before I continue, let me I'll zoom out a tiny bit. There we go. And I'm just going to tell you what materials I'm using here. So the first, these gray beads here are matte metallic silver gray Miyuki 11-0 seed beads. And the little pink beads that I'm using for the center here are Preciosa check seed beads, opaque, dyed chalk pink, size 11-0. And these I sourced from Bizu. Not sure where, I guess I must have gotten these from, I think I got these from Len's Mill here in Ontario. Sometimes they have actually a good price on 11-0 seed beads. I think they're kind of an outlet store, so they don't have all the colors, but sometimes you can get really good deal on seed beads. So that's where those came from for me. And then finally, we're going to use for these tiny little fillers here. These are 15-0s. So I'm going to be using the antique ivory pearl Ceylon, and these are Miyuki 15-0 seed beads. And those I think I got at Oasis Beads, actually. And they used to be closer to here. I think they're sort of on the Canadian-US border, this side. Yeah, I'm not sure, maybe Sarnia is where they are now. Anyway, so if you get 20 seed beads onto your needle, and just bring those down and just tie a little knot. Right. And maybe it's good to have a little give in there. And if you remember, the way that we proceed here is you take your central color and you skip 1, 2, 3, and then you go into the next. And place that there. And you do this all the way around. Sorry, I didn't zoom in here. And this is tiny, so there we go. So yeah, so I just came down 1, 2, 3, and then I put in one of these, 1, 2, 3, put in one of these, and I'm just doing that all the way around. And there we are. There's our little star forming. And then you want to go through all these center seed beads to cinch them up. Okay, so there we go. And now you go up to the tip here. Because for this one, the stars are sharing tips, right? So the tip of this star is going to become a tip of this star here, right? So let's go up there. And now we're only going to have to pick up 19 beads, right? Because this star tip is going to become the 20th bead. So let's pick up 19. 1, 2, 19. And then just go back into the other side. You're making a loop. And at this point, I kind of like to flip it over so that I'm always working in the same direction. Okay, and so you're going to go down 1, 2. Oops. Let's go down 1, 2. Just feed your needle ahead there. And then pick up 1, and again we skip 3 and place an interior bead. Oops, sorry for drifting out of frame. Right, so we're just doing that. I think I demonstrated this in the other video too. I'll be more cautious about the parts that I haven't already demonstrated in the other video when I come to those. And then we go into that first bead that we were coming out of for this round. There we are. Get the needle in there. I should probably put my magnifier on so I can see better what I'm doing here. Okay, and then I'm just going to go through these interior beads. And all we're doing is just going through these central beads here. And then soon we will be coming up to the part that is new. Okay, so in order to kind of proceed here, I'm going to get up to this start. Oh, sorry. Let me get back into frame here. In order to proceed, I'm going to get up to this star tip here. So I'm going to go through these central beads up to here, and then I'm going to go up there. Okay, so here we are at this star tip. Now, let's go back to this. Okay, so we want to know how many beads do we want to put between these two star tips, because this is going to become our new round that creates the next star. So let's take a look. It's 1, 2, 3, right? Because we're kind of skipping every 3. Okay, and so you're going to pick up 3 and you're going to go into that other star tip there. Oops, what's going on here? Somehow looped it around. Okay, so 3 plus 2 is 5, right? So in order to make our 20, we're going to need 15 more. So I'm going to pick up 15, 15. And you're just going to, let's see, you're just going to go right into those to form the full loop. Now again, I'm just gonna flip this over because it's just easier for me to keep going in the same direction. So once you've made your loop of 20, see, so all I did was I flipped it around. Okay, so I had just flipped it over, and you just want to come 1, 2, just advance the thread 1, 2 down from a star tip, right? because that's how we had proceeded before. Now let's pick up an interior color and just count 1, 2, 3 again. And now here you can see 1, 2, 3 is going to put us right there. Oops. Basically, it's that center bead between the two star tips, right? And then pick up another central color and 1, 2, 3. And we're going into the first one that we came out of, which was 2 down from the star tip, right? Like so. So there we are. And again, we just want to go through all these internal beads once again. And there we are. So now we've connected 3. Now, I'm just trying to think about the easiest way to proceed from here. I think the easiest way is going to be, we are coming out of this bead here. So let's just go up to this star tip here. And again, we're faced with this situation. We're going to pick up 3 beads, and we're just going to place those between those 2 star tips, like so. And again, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of our circle, so we're going to have to pick up 15. 15. And we're just going to form a loop there. And again, I'm just going to flip over because I find it easiest to sew this way. sorry for flipping around on you like that, but it's how I find it easiest to sew. So we're just going down 2 here from the tip where we are. And we're going to pick up an interior color and 1, 2, 3, and then go into the next bead there. And 1, 2, 3, pick up another 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to go into this one that's right between. Might be a little difficult to get your needle in there. I'm finding it's hard for me. Okay, there we go. And pick up another, and 1, 2, 3, and then we're going into if we can ever get in there. Yes, please. Okay, there we go. And again, going through all these little guys here. Okay, so we've gone through all the central beads. Now, sorry to flip again. I'm flipping. Did you notice? We were here. Okay, so actually we are here, and I flipped back, just so you know. We're going to step up into, after going through all those interior beads, we're going to step up into here I'll try not to flip. I'm sorry, it's terrible that I keep flipping. It's just what feels natural to me as I try to sew. Okay, so I'm going to pick up 1, 2, 3 seed beads. And so this is what you're trying to, let me show you what you're trying to do. So you're just trying to create 5 around a central star. And now, however you do that, just always be aware that that's your goal. And wherever your thread is, you're just trying to create the next star around a central star. Just keep that in mind as you're going through everything. And when you come out of a star tip, just know you've got to add 3 beads to get to the next star tip, and then 15 beads to complete your circle. So I'm going to pick up another 15 now. 15. And there we go. Okay. And so we're just going to go through all these again, like that. And I'm just going to rotate this a little bit. And now just advance 2 beads. Again, this is all we've been doing. Once we've gotten that circle, all we're doing is we put in the 3 beads, we connect them all around, then we just advance 2 beads, and then we pick up an interior color, and now it's again every 1, 2, 3. And there we go. And then pick up another interior color, and 1, 2, 3, and then again we're going into the central one between the 2 star tips, which I don't know, if you bend your needle a bit, maybe you can, or bend the work a little bit, you can get your needle in there. And then position that bead there, and then pick up again, 1, 2, 3, into that first one we were coming out of. And now I'm just going to go through all the interior beads once again. And now we have come to this part of the assembly. We need a star here, don't we? So I'm just going to step into this bead here to get to the star tip. And then up here. So as we know, between every star tip, the tip to tip distance is 3 beads, okay? So we're going to pick up 1, 2, 3 beads. And we're going to go into this tip. And then we're going to pick up another 3 beads. 1, 2, 3. And we're going to go into this tip. Okay, so now how many have we added? Let's see. We've got 3 and 3's 6 plus another 3's 9. And we need 20 beads, which means we need to pick up 11. 11. Okay, so I'm going to come in this first star tip here, and then I'm going to go through those first 3 beads that we had added, and then the next star tip. And then I'm going to go through the next 3 beads we added and the next star tip. So these are our now round of 20 beads. And as we know, we just advance our needle 2, and we pick up an interior color, and we count 1, 2, 3, that's our rule, and then we go into the next one. And then I'm going to pick up another bead, and then 1, 2, 3, and we're into the next one, which is the center one between the first 2 star tips there. Should be the center one there of the 3 that we added between these 2 star tips. And then I'm going to pick up another one. It's always just counting 3 though. 1, 2, 3, And then again, this is a center one between those two star tips. And then we have one more. We're just going to pick up another bead and we're going to count 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to go into oh, sorry, I'm out of frame. And then we're going to go into, I'm just bending it over because it's a little difficult to get into this bead for some reason. We're going to get into that one. Okay, so that's the last one there that we're adding. And again, you just want to step down into that center ring and cinch all those together. And we cinch those up. Now, let's take a look at this bead and we'll see. So what we've done is we had the central star and then we just created stars all the way around that. Now, if we tilt it a little bit, we'll see that the way that the next round below those is going to be assembled is by putting one between every 2 star tip. So we're just going to, we're coming out of there, we're just going to step up into that star tip there. And tip to tip, we know we're just adding 1, 2, 3 beads, so I'm going to put those on my needle. 1, 2, 3 beads, and we're just going to go in there like that. And we know we have 5 here, so we're going to pick up 15 beads. 15. Okay, let me just make sure I got 15. 5, 10, 15, yes. Okay, and so we're going to come into the other side. I'm just going to go through those 3 beads and then into that first bead that we were coming out of, just to make the complete loop. And again, all we do is we go down 2. I'm gonna go down 2. And you gotta watch, we're in that sort of 3D phase where things are gonna get, our threads, we gotta be careful with our thread not getting hooked onto stuff. Okay, so now pick up an interior color, and 1, 2, 3, and we're just gonna make another star. Now we come to, we're on round 2, right? We've got a place. So this was our first star, and we placed 5 around that first star. And now we're doing our second round, and we've got to place 5 around our first round, okay? And so, oh, sorry for dropping it. You're coming out of here. So I'm just going to advance my needle up to the tip of that star, like that. And then we're going to go through all these tips here we're going to put 3 between each. So let's pick up 3. 1, 2, 3. And that takes us to here. Oh, sorry about the tail. Okay, and that takes us to here. And another 3. 1, 2, 3 takes us to here. So we've got that, right? That's what we did. Actually, I'm gonna, pardon me while I just snip off this tail. It's driving me crazy. Okay, let's just clip. There we go. Goodbye. Goodbye, tail. Okay. Now, so we started here at this tip, we added 3, we went through the next tip, we added 3, and we went through the next tip. And now that's 9, so we need to pick up 11. 11. Okay, so we've got 11 on our needle. Let's just make sure we do. Got 5, and yeah, we got 11 on our needle. Okay, and then we're just going to come into where we were, that star tip, and we're going to go back through all these ones that we added. So through the first star tip, I was being overly ambitious. I was trying to get through them all. Through the first star tip, through those 3, through the next star tip, and through those next 3, and through that next star tip. So we're coming out of that second star tip that we connected. And now, again, we're just going to go 2, advanced by 2. And I'm going to pick up another interior color. 1, 2, 3, and whoops. Sometimes if you can get your thumbnail in there, it can help sort of spread them out. 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to get into that one there. So we're just doing just making another star. And let's pick up another one, another interior color, little pink bead. And then we'll count 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to go again into the center one between those 2 star tips. But still, it's just 1, 2, 3, and then that just happens to be the next one, right? Okay, and then we'll pick up another one, count 1, 2, 3, and it's the one between the 2 star tips. Oh, sorry, I've drifted out of frame again. All I'm doing is I'm just assembling this star here. And 1, 2, 3, and then into this next one. And there we are. And now let's just go and cinch the center beads again. So that's the second one. So this is our first round. We've placed this one and this one. So now, again, I'm just going to come up to the tip of that bead there, like that. And then I'm going to, again, pick up 1, 2, 3 beads and go from tip to tip, like that. And another 3 beads, 1, 2, 3, and the next tip over, let's connect that one. And again, we've got 9, right? Because we've got the 3 tips plus 6 that we just added. So we need 11. 11. And I'm just going into that first star tip. I'm going to come through the 3 beads in the next star tip, through the next 3 beads and the next star tip. So we're basically just completing our loop. And again, we're just going to step down 2, advance that needle into place, and we're going to start our next star. Be careful you don't hook yourself around a star tip like I just did. Okay, and there you are. And let's just do it. Let's make our next star. Our cinching up of the interior beads. Now let's take stock. This was our center. We've placed the 5 beads. Now we've placed 1, 2, 3 from the second round. And here we are. Actually, I think I needed to advance 1 more bead to complete my, there. Now I've cinched up all the interior beads. So your thread should be coming out of here. And I'm just going to, again, step up those 2 beads to get into the star tip. And that we're placing our 4th of the second round, 4th star of the second round. And between these two, I'm just going to pick up 1, 2, 3. And that gets us from tip to tip, like so. And then we're going to pick up 1, 2, 3. And that gets us from tip to tip, the second tip to tip. So again, we're just going and connecting 2 star tips. And we have 9, so we need to pick up 11. 11. And I'm going to come into that star tip, the first one. I'm going to go through those 3 seed beads that we added to the next star tip. I'm going to come through the next 3 seed beads that we added to that 3rd star tip. And here we are. And now just go down 2 again to position yourself to place the interior beads once more, the usual spot. Okay, and then I'm just going to step up these 2 beads here, like so. Now, we come to our last bead, our last star, pardon me, not last bead, far from it, last star in round 2. Now, you'll notice this thing is really 3D now, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 star tips. And we're going to place 3 beads between each of those star tips. So let's go ahead and do that. 1, 2, 3. And let's move that mutant bead out of my way so I'm not tempted to pick it up. Okay, so we're just going through 3 beads and going through the next star tip. We're going to do it again. Pick up 3 beads and go through that one didn't really star up very nicely. Hold on. Just trying to coax it into shape there. Okay. So we had added, so here we're just adding 3 beads between each of these star tips. And this one just hadn't really formed into a nice tip yet. So I was just trying to figure out where I'm connecting. So yes, you should have a nice star tip there. You probably didn't end up with the situation I did there. And 1, 2, 3 to the next one. Oops. So that's 1, 2, 3's 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Wait, hold on, let me make sure I got that right. So we added 9, plus we have 1, 2, 3, 4 star tips. Yeah, that's 13. Yeah, I guess we just need to add 7, because we're connecting 4 star tips. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 plus 9, 13 plus 7 is our 20 beads. Sorry, I'm just talking myself through the math because I want to make sure I'm not making a mistake. Okay, yes. For some reason, I'm kind of tired this morning. Okay, there we go. I actually slept quite well for a change, so I don't know what's going on there. Yes, Okay, so now I'm just going to go through all those beads once more. All the ones that we just added through the 4 star tips and the sets of 3 beads that we just added to come out the other side of that. Just going through the final 3 beads in the 4th star tip there. Okay, and again, just going to go down 2. It's nice to have a little algorithm that you can use, because then you always know that you're doing the right thing. Okay, so let's pick up an interior color and let's count. Oh, I'm out of frame again. Come on, come on. Okay, there. And so we're just making another star. 1, 2, 3, and going into the next one. But now we have almost the entire dodecahedral structure at this point, which is pretty exciting. But you can get your finger in there and you can do this. So we're in there, 1, 2, 3, takes us to here. Pick up another central bead. Oh, that one flew off my needle before I could use it. Okay. Let me get back into frame. Okay. 1, 2, 3, and we'll go through that bead there. There we go. Pick up another central bead. 1, 2, 3, and go into this one, which is the bead between those 2 stars, and then 1, 2, 3, and then just rejoin here. And then we'll go through all of the central beads. And don't hook around anything, as that's what I just did. Oh no. There we go. And we have this. It's a little, looks like a little thimble or something at this point. Okay, and so again, just step up into that star tip. But you see what the situation is now, right? We've got to connect all of these star tips. And it's 3 beads between each of them, as we know. So let's just do that. 3 beads between each star tip. 1, 2, 3. I'm just going around this circle there, adding 3 between each of the remaining star tips there. One, 2, 3. And back into that first star tip. And now, same as it ever was, just go down 2. And now this whole thing's going to get squished in a bit. And then pick up an interior color and start your counting of 3, and then go into the next one. Pick up another interior color, count 1, 2, 3, and then go into the next one. And in this case, you're going to find, right, that you're going to go into that middle of the 3 beads 1, 2, 3. It's always going to take you to the center of the 3 beads of those sets of 3 that you added, right? 1, 2, 3 takes you to that center one. And I believe this is our last one. Okay. 1, 2, 3, and back into that first one that we went into. And you'll notice this is not 100% solid yet, but we're going to fix that. Okay, and now we're going to go through that central ring of beads again. So just connect those inner beads again, as you always have. Like that. And there, I think we've come all the way around. Okay, perfect. So you'll see, congratulations. Now you have this. Okay, and now comes what I would call the easy part. If you, again, you just want to actually just step up into this bead. You don't have to go all the way to the star tip this time. And we'll start positioning our 15 O's. Okay, now let me make sure I'm fully zoomed in here and everything's in focus. This is a little bit tiny. Okay, so get a 15-0 on your needle, and then do you see, let me just, this whole thing is just crushing in. Okay, do you see how between these two, actually, am I putting it in the right spot? Let me make sure. Okay, so what we're doing is we are placing these ones here. And I think I'm actually in the wrong spot, so let's get into the right spot. Okay, so I had said just step up one and not into the star tip, but actually, yes. Let's see. Yes, let's step up into, actually, let's not step into the star tip. Okay, so you've stepped up one bead. So we were coming out of here. You've stepped up one bead. Just skip the star tip and go into that next bead. So do you see that? You're just skipping the star tip. And then now you are coming out of here. And these are the little notches where I like to put a 15-0 seed bead. So just put one there. Do you see how it just kind of fits in there? And then skip the star tip again, and then just go right across to the next place where you can put one of these little 15-0s. Pick up a 15-0 and put it there, like that, like that. And then skip the star tip and go right across to the next one. And pick up another 15-0 and go across here and skip the star tip again. So you're putting them And then I like to just go through all the 15 O's once more to connect them. Sorry, let me get that in frame. And I just go through those 15 O's to turn them into a little like that. So let's do another one of those. So you want to get over here. So just move your needle over through a star tip, through the next one, through there. So you're looking for these places that are almost like they're almost like little peyote gaps here. Let's see if I can. Wonder if I can zoom in like even a little bit more here. These are the gaps you're trying to get into. You see, so I'm just gonna place a little 15 O here. This is just a little embellishment, but it will secure and firm up the structure of the whole thing. Sorry, it's very, very magnified, so any movement I make is huge. And so here you're skipping the star tip, which is right there, and then you're just going across. So the star tip will be there, but then that puts you in position to apply another one of these 15 O's here, like that. And then skip the star tip again. And then pick up another 15 O and go into that next. Because they're almost like little peyote gaps where you can apply these. And then I just step up into those 15 O's and I connect them. Like that. And now just I look at where I am, and you're trying to get over to one of these gaps, basically. One of these gaps. So here's one, and here's one. So if I go back down into, if I go over there, I can get into one. And you can just navigate your way around the ball that you've created now and just fill in these little spaces. So you see you're just filling in that little one there. And again, you're going to skip the star tip and then just go into that next bead there. They're kind of like they're the little notches of the stars, right? You're just putting a little 15 O seed bead in the little notch there for each star, each of those 3 stars that are joined together. So you come up here. Oh, okay, sorry, my structure's coming apart. Yours won't, because you won't have snipped that tail to get it out of the way. That's what I did. My bad, as they say. Okay, so here we go. And I'm skipping the star tip there, and I'm just, this was our quick demonstration, right? That's why we can forgive me for the whole thing exploding. Oh, I didn't get a 15 O on my needle. You want a 15-0 on your needle, and then fill in that notch there. And you want to come back down here and connect them all. Wow, imagine my disappointment that this whole thing is falling apart as I work on it. Okay, so there you go. You see how that's working? And I would just from here, you're always just trying to find your way. See, this is the part where we're coming apart. It just started to explode here. Anyway, I hope that's enough to get you going. And you're just doing that all the way around. I'll do one more just so that you can see how that goes. So I'm just going to go through this. We want to get into, do you see? So here's a notch, and here's a notch, right? So you just take your needle and you make your way. I'm just trying to think what the best way there is. Hold on a sec. So say we want to get over here, right? Just, you can just go right over there like that, right? And you just want to put in your little 15-0 right in that notch. You see where it is? It's just right there. If this is the star, it's right there. And you do it for every star, and you can just skip the star tip, and then you can go right to that bead there, pick up a 15-0, and now we'll skip the star tip and we'll just go over here, pick up a 15-0, and just fill in that little notch like that. And then come back down like this and pick up this seed bead, this little 15-0, and then just join them in a circle. And now I've unthreaded my needle. So I'll just rethread my needle. There we go. Right, so you just come up and then you go through all those little 15-0s. And you'll find that as you do this, it really does firm up the whole structure. Almost magically, you know? Okay, and so I'm just coming out of this one, I'm trying to get over here, and you see here's another little notch here. So you can just kind of go through there. You can skip the star tip if you like. Just go straight across and pick up a 15-0, put it in that notch, pick up, oh, no, then you want to get into place. Of course, the whole thing's falling apart on me here as I do this. And you're in place here to add another 15-0, like so. And then you're just going to get into that little notch again. Skip the star tip, just go into that little notch. It's like little round of peyote almost. Pick up a 15-0. And there. And then just skip the star tip and go up into that 15-0. And now go around the 15-0s, just connecting them. I knew I shouldn't have snipped that tail. Oh well. Hopefully I can recover the situation. Okay. And there, you know, and that you're just going to do that all the way around in all these little gaps. Well, it seemed a shame to to let this little ball unravel. So I've tried to save it. I've attached more thread, and I just thought I'd continue on here and show you how the whole thing kind of firms up when you add these 15-0s. So again, we're just going into these little notches that are here in the arms of these 3 stars. Just putting our little 15-0s in there wherever they're needed. So again, here, we're just skipping that star tip, and we're just going across to here. And this is a place where we can add, see, it's the little arm of the star. It's a place where we can add a 15-0. Okay, and then we're going to, again, skip the star tip here and just go to the next place where we can add our 15-0 in the arms of this little star here. Sorry, I'll try and stay in frame. It's very difficult because I'm super magnified right now, because these little 15-0s are about the size of sesame seeds, right? Okay, so I'm now skipping that star tip there, and I'm just going through this next bead and stepping up into that 15-0, and then I'm going to just join all these 15-0s together again. And I thought maybe it might be useful for you to see me navigate around this structure, trying to place these little guys. Okay, so here I'm just going to go up through this, through the star tip, and over here where I see another little notch where I can place a 15-0. And there are 3 of them in each of these gaps. And just keep going around, skipping the star tips. See, it's a little kind of X. Skip that star tip. Go into the next one. Here. So when you place one of them, you're always skipping the star tip and you're going back down into that gap. And you're picking up another 15-0. You're going to fill that gap. Like so. And then coming back down into that, skipping the star tip again, positions you to step up into that 15-0 and join all the 15-0s. And once you've placed these trios everywhere around the structure, what as you can see is a sort of dimpled and not very structurally firm thing will firm up. You'll notice that that happens automatically as a result of adding these little reinforcements. Okay, so you're coming out of here, so you can just go up through here. And you can even skip that star tip, or you can go through it if you like. But you're wanting to, oh, maybe I will this time, just because it seems like it might be easier. Just when you're navigating from place to place. Okay, so now here we are, and you want to pick up a 15-0, and you want to fill that little gap. Sorry, thing just jumped out of my hand. Okay, fill that little gap. You skip the star tip here, and then you just go into that bead like that. Pick up another 15-0 and fill this little gap. And then come back down here like this. Pick up a 15-0 and fill this little gap like that. And then skip the star tip and go into this bead here. Step up into the 15-0 and connect all the 15-0s. Just like that. Okay, so now, and you know, if you're trying to puff up this structure, you can always kind of pull at it with your needle like that. So looking next, we probably want to come here and fill in that gap there. So I'm going to come along this way. See how I'm doing that? You just want to get your thread path, follow your thread path over there and get into the position that you want to be in to fill in these little spaces, right? So I'm just gonna take a 15-0, fill that space, and now you're skipping this space, right, with the star tip, and you are coming back down because you're just putting one of these little 15-0s in the notch of each star, and you only have 3 stars in each of these gaps, right? So here we are, little space here that we can fill. Like that. And then you're coming down there. And you're filling this little gap here, right? And then you're coming up, you're coming through here. And then you're stepping up into that 15-0 and joining all the 15-0s. Okay, so we're just going to do the last of these placements of the 15-0s, and I will be finished this. And here we go. Oh, no. Yes, wait, where am I? Where do I want to be? I want to be over here. Sorry if you can hear my cat out there. He's pounding away at the door, but I can't have him in here while I'm filming because he would be up here on my desk joining us for this adventure. Okay, so I've placed one of those, and I'm just placing another. And this will be the last. And we will come down here and up through all of these here. And I'll just zoom out. There we have it. Another one of these little star balls. And I hope that gives you enough to go on and create your own. All right, take care.